Hi, hello. This is Dr. Prasad Putilam with the class series on environmental studies for environmental studies and e-waste management for the fifth semester, computer science and allied branches of Visheshwara Technological University. I'm on to the module 4 that is waste management. The classes are available in my YouTube channel, My Intuition 4865. As well as not only the theory classes as well as some of the selected MCQs, multiple choice answer and question, multiple choice questions, and as well as the answer is also given uh, after the theory class. Okay, you can go to the playlist of environmental studies. There you can find the class videos as well as the model, not a model, questions, multiple choice questions prepared based on this study material which I have prepared. Okay, now this is module 4, that is waste management and why it is very important. Waste management, it is the organized process of handling the waste from time it's created to its final disposal, that is called waste management. It includes many steps like collecting, sorting, transporting, processing, treating, and finally disposing of the waste. So think of a system that help us deal with our garbage in a very safe and responsible way that comes under waste management. Now, why this waste management is important? 3 points are given. It prevents pollution and promotes sustainability. It protects the public health as well as the ecosystem. Conserves resources through recycling and reuse. Okay, so when the waste is managed correctly, it does not end up polluting our land or the water or even the air. So this help keep the environment clean and safe for us and for the future generations. For the proper waste management, it reduces the harmful chemicals and substances in our surrounding. It also keeps the people healthier, and it also protects animals, plants, and the natural habitats. Conserving the resources through recycling and reuse, the waste management it encourages recycling and reusing the material, which means that instead of always using new resources, we can reuse or recycle materials like the paper, plastic, and even the metal. So this saves resources and reduces the waste. Now the types and sources of solid waste. Types and uh, types are mentioned here. The solid waste, it includes anything that we throw away which needs to be managed to prevent the pollution and in order to maintain cleanliness. Some of the common type of solid waste are mentioned here, like the municipal solid waste, MSW. This is everyday waste from household, like the food scrap, packaging material, plastic, and even the paper. Industrial waste are the waste which are produced by the factories and the industries or industrial activities. So it can include chemicals, scraps, and other byproducts from the manufacturing of that particular unit. Hazardous waste. Hazardous waste are type of waste which are very dangerous to human health as well as to the environment because it contains toxicity, or they are flammable, they will catch fire easily, or they are corrosive, or they will make, or it will make the other metals to corrode. mainly metals will get corrosion. So the structures made up of the metals will get corroded, so it's an issue. So the examples which include the chemicals as well as the batteries, which are mainly coming from the industries which are working on that, connecting to the hazardous waste. E-waste or electronic waste refers to the electronic devices like our old phones. After 1 or 2 years, the phone will have to be will be throwing in most of the cases, not the all cases, but you can see that in an average around 2 to 3 years a phone will come, or a laptop, or whatever the electronic devices that you are using, the computers and even the other electronic appliances. We'll either replace it with the new one, which is having a better options. So the old one no one will purchase, or we are not worried about selling it or disposing it. It will become a waste. It will be thrown to the land. Then the construction and the demolition, C&D waste. It includes materials from the construction or the demolition sites, such as the concrete, the bricks, and even the metal scraps. The sources of solid waste, it can be from residential. These are the waste from the household, like the leftover food or the plastic containers which we use to carry the food materials, to bring the food materials to our home, and even the paper waste. Commercial cases, it is a waste from the business, like the hotels or the restaurants, offices, the stores. This could also include the packaging materials which they use, like the paper waste or food waste. Everything is included in the commercial case. Institutional, the waste which are coming from places like the schools or hospitals, government buildings, comes under the sources of solid waste from the institutions. Agricultural waste, they are from the farms, which may include the manure or the crop leftovers or the thrown pesticide containers. They are the agricultural waste. Industrial waste, like the factories or the mills or even the mines, they produce various waste material during their operations. Now, the functional element of solid waste management, SWM, it is called. The solid waste management, it involves several steps in order to handle the waste properly from the start to the till the finish of that. Some of the steps which are managing this solid waste are: waste generation. Start from the waste generation. That is the first step, where the waste is produced by the human activities, such as the cooking, manufacturing, or even farming. Then on-site handling, storage and processing. This step, it includes storing the waste temporarily and using methods to reduce the volume of waste at the place where it is created. For example, people may separate recyclable at home to make the collection very easier. Third one, that is collection. In this step, the waste, it is gathered from different places like a home or the place where the business is happening, marketplace, and they are transported for further treatment or for this disposal. Then the transfer and transport. Waste, it is moved from local collection points to larger processing or the disposal facilities. Then comes the processing and recovery. The waste, it is treated to recover the useful materials through methods like the recycling. Recycling means reusing the materials, or composting. Composting means turning the organic waste into fertilizers. which can the biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste can be converted into fertilizers. Last one, that is disposal. Disposal, that is the final or after processing the remaining waste, it is disposed of at landfills or other designated sites by the government. Now, why the solid waste management matters? The effective solid waste management, it is very essential because it helps to keep our surroundings clean, reduces the pollution, conserves the resources, as well as towards the healthier environment. Next topic, that is biomedical waste in the syllabus. Biomedical waste, which this involves uh, the management of biomedical waste involves the safety handling and disposing of waste which are generated in the healthcare settings, like the hospitals, the laboratories, or even the veterinary clinics. The sources and types of biomedical waste are listed out here, like the sources of biomedical waste, like hospitals and clinics. This waste, it includes the bandages, which is used to cover the wound, the gloves which the nurses or the doctors use, they are one-time use. Then syringes which are used to give injections. Then the medicine vials. These are all the some of the hospital and clinic biomedical waste. The laboratories and research centers, these generate waste from chemicals and the biological experiments, such as used test tubes and other samples which are taken, because samples from are taken in plastic containers or tubes. Once it is used, it is a waste, so it become a biomedical waste. Then pharmaceutical, it includes the expired or unused medicines mainly. The veterinary care centers, here the waste might include the animal tissues, the syringes, and the needles, the sharp medical equipments, mainly needles. Then medical training and testing centers, the waste which are generated from these places, it includes disposed samples, the syringes, and equipment which are used for testing. Now, what are the characteristics of a biomedical waste? Biomedical waste, it can be very harmful if not handled properly, and it has several characteristics like infectious, hazardous, radioactive, non-hazardous, etc. The infectious one, that is some waste like the used bandages or syringes. This can contain harmful germs in the sense pathogens, microorganisms that may spread the disease. Second one, that is hazardous. Hazardous means toxic chemicals or medicines or even the sharp objects like needles that can injure or poison the people. Radioactive one, certain waste from the medical test or the treatment, it uses the radiation, mainly we know X-ray. This can be dangerous if they are radioactive. Then the non-hazardous, the general waste that does not cause any risk, like the regular office paper or the plastic wrappers. They are the biomedical waste but non-hazardous. Now, the biomedical waste management rules of 2016, in order to manage the biomedical safety, waste safety, the biomedical waste management rule 2016 were introduced. with some of the guidelines like segregation at source, color coded containers, transportation, disposal, reporting requirements. Like the segregational source, the biomedical waste, it must be separated at the point where it is generated, like in hospital or the laboratories. So this means that the infectious or the hazardous and even the non-hazardous waste is all separated into different containers. Color coded containers are used where the waste should be disposed in a specific colored bags or containers. For example, the uh, yellow colored bags. Yellow colored bags are used for human anatomical waste like tissues. Red colored bags are used for recyclable contaminated waste. These are the items which can be recycled after treatment. Then comes the transportation. There are very strict rules for transporting the biomedical waste in order to prevent the accidental exposure or its spill. Specialized vehicles and trained staff are used in order to move the waste safely to the treatment facilities. Disposal facilities, they are the facilities like incinerators. Incinerators are which burn the waste at a high temperature. And there are also autoclaves. Autoclaves are the they will sterilize using steam. Steam at that high temperature, most of the germs or the microbes will die. So some of the equipments which can be reused, that can be done by autoclaves by using steam, which cannot be used, they are done gone for incineration, that is burning at a high temperature, very high temperature, so that no polluted gas and all not immediately it will burn, and a little bit of pollution will be there. I cannot say pollution less. Then comes the reporting and requirements. The facilities which are produ- produce the biomedical waste, they must keep the records and they should report on their waste generation as well as the disposal methods. So this will help in order to ensure that they are following the rules, and it allows the authorities to monitor the waste management. Now, why the proper biomedical waste management matters? It, in order to prevent the disease spread, in order to protect the healthcare of the workers who are working there, as well as the environmental protection. The next topic, that is environmental legislation, which is the waste management rule of 2016, is also solid waste management rule 2016. So the waste uh, so solid waste management rules, it covers how the solid waste like the household garbage and the commercial waste, they are how it should be handled. So these rules, it will apply to everyone who generates the waste. It includes the home or the business and even the government offices. Okay, so some of the key provisions or key points in solid management rule, that is the segregation of waste. Every household or the office or the institution, they must separate their waste into two types. One is the biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste are the one which can be break down naturally, like the food scrap or the plant materials. The second one, that is non-biodegradable waste, the waste which does not decompose easily, like the plastic, glass, metals, those type of waste. So by separating waste at this source, we can recycle and process it in a more effective way. Second one, that is extended producer responsibility, EPR. So this rule makes the companies which produce packaging materials like the plastic wrappers, the bottles, and even the cartons. They are responsible for collecting and processing the waste which are created by their products. So this will help to reduce the waste, and it encourages the companies to use eco-friendly packaging. Then comes the collection and processing by the local bodies. The local government authorities like the municipal corporation, they are responsible for collecting the waste from homes and the other places. So they also need to set up facilities to process or recycle the waste properly. Then penalties for the non-compliances. If people or the companies, they are not following these rules, they may face fine or other penalties. So this encourages everyone to follow the waste management practice. So these rules, it ensures that waste, it is handled in a way that protects our environment and reduces the pollution. Then comes the Biomedical Waste Management Rule 2016. Okay. The key aspects. Okay, the biomedical waste management rule, it focuses on the waste which are created by the healthcare facilities such as hospital, clinics, and other research centers. Since biomedical waste can contain harmful chemicals or the pathogens, so it needs to be handled with extra care. So some of the key aspects or the key aspects of the rules, they are authorization, treatment, training, and monitoring. Authorization: all healthcare facilities which generate the biomedical waste, they must have permission. Permission means that authorization from the relevant authorities. So this will ensure that only trained and approved facilities handle the biomedical waste. Then treatment and disposal standard, the rule, it provides very strict guidelines on how to treat and dispose of biomedical waste in order to ensure the safety, like the autoclaving. Autoclaving means using steam to sterilize the waste, or incineration. Incineration said that it is a burning at a high temperature not to destroy the harmful substances, or the chemical disinfection. Chemical disinfection means using chemicals to kill the germs in a waste before it is disposed. Then comes the training and awareness for healthcare staff. They must receive a proper training so that the safety on safety, training on safety and handling or disposing of biomedical waste. A proper training is required. This will help in order to prevent any accidents, and it ensures that the waste, it is managed correctly. Monitoring regulations. Regular inspections in order to which are required to make sure that the healthcare facilities, they follow the rules for safe waste disposal, and also it helps the authorities to check if the facility is properly managing the waste and it is protecting the health. Now the importance of compliance, these the following or obeying these rules, it is very crucial in order to prevent the spread of infections and to protect the health of both the public and environment. So proper biomedical waste management reduces the risk of contamination and ensures a safer environment for everyone. Now in module 4, self-study component is given. The self-study component I am sharing. The suggested case studies for self-studies are the Mumbai Dharavi recycling industry, which is one of the largest recycling hubs in the Asia, where the informal workers they collect, sort, and process the waste. Then Sweden's zero waste strategy. Sweden is known for sending less than 1% of its their the waste into landfill using the advanced recycling and waste to energy technologies or techniques. Japan's Kamikatsu zero waste town. This town it has a very strict sorting and recycling system, aiming to become zero waste and reduce the landfill use. Okay, so that's about the module 4. Okay, followed by module 5. Module 5 I will cover in the next video. The objective questions covering this syllabus as well as this note that also will be shared to this particular YouTube channel, My Intuition 4865. So please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, My Intuition 4865, and support me to produce more of videos like this. So once again I thank you very much for watching my videos, sharing my videos to others, and encouraging me. Once again, thank you very much.